Cowboys Nation, buckle up, because what we're diving into today is the kind of story that defines seasons, shapes legacies, and tests the heart of a franchise. The Dallas Cowboys just walked out of Week 12 with one of the most emotional, improbable, momentum-swinging wins of the entire NFL season. A comeback victory over the Philadelphia Eagles that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming when things looked bleak. It was gritty, it was chaotic, it was physical. It was everything a division rivalry is supposed to be. But that win, as euphoric as it felt for Cowboys fans everywhere, came with a tough reality check. A hard truth, a spotlight that fell on one of the faces of the franchise, CeeDee Lamb. Because let's not sugarcoat it, Lamb struggled. 4 catches on 11 targets, multiple drops, momentum-killing plays, moments where the frustration was visible not only on the field, but across the fan base. And at a time where the Cowboys needed every yard, every completion, every ounce of execution, it was painful to watch number 88, the symbolic number of legends in Dallas, have one of the most drop-filled performances of his entire career. But here's where the story turns. Here's where leadership matters. Here's where coaching becomes more than scheme, more than play design, more than analytics. After the game, while fans were debating, doubting, complaining, and expressing their anger online, Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer stepped in front of microphones and didn't hesitate for a second. He didn't distance himself from CeeDee, he didn't criticize him, he didn't question his effort. He didn't lose faith. Instead, he said something powerful, something that resonated across the locker room. CeeDee is not a good player. He's an incredible player. We love him, we trust him, and the ball is going to keep coming his way. That, right there, is leadership. That is culture. That is belief. That is a coach looking at his star receiver in the middle of one of his worst outings of the season and saying, "We still ride with you. We still believe in you. We still need you. And we are going right back to you next week." And that next week happens to be one of the biggest stages of the entire NFL calendar. Thanksgiving Day, Cowboys versus Chiefs, AT&T Stadium, national audience. Millions watching. Patrick Mahomes on the other side. It's not just a game, it's a moment. It's a statement opportunity. And Schottenheimer made it very clear. The Cowboys aren't hiding CeeDee Lamb, they're featuring him. When we start drawing plays for Kansas City, I'll give him a heads up, there will be a lot going to number 88. Think about the confidence in that sentence. After a drop-heavy game, after criticism, after being overshadowed statistically by George Pickens this season, Schottenheimer isn't giving Lamb fewer opportunities, he's giving him more. Because the Cowboys know something the rest of the league tends to forget. Great players respond. Great players bounce back. Great players have identity, pride, and competitive fire. And CeeDee Lamb, even with all the turbulence of this season, is still that guy. Let's talk about this season for a moment. Lamb has played through injury. He missed multiple games early, which disrupted chemistry and rhythm. He has battled defensive double coverage in ways few receivers can handle. And playing next to an explosive and breakout star like George Pickens has shifted targets and expectations. But Lamb's numbers, 44 catches, 632 yards, 2 touchdowns, don't tell the full story. They don't show the physical toll, the defensive attention, the comeback moments, the off-script plays, the routes that opened up openings for others. This year hasn't been easy for him, but no season is easy for an elite receiver in Dallas, especially wearing number 88. That number carries weight, responsibility, expectations. It's the pressure of Michael Irvin, the shadow of Dez Bryant, the God-tier standard that says, if you wear 88, you better dominate. And sometimes domination doesn't look like stats. Sometimes domination looks like getting back up, responding, growing, resetting, stepping into the moment when the world is criticizing you. And that's exactly what CeeDee Lamb is about to do on Thanksgiving. But let's be absolutely clear. The rise of George Pickens is very real. Pickens is having a monster season. He's top 5 in receiving yards, top 3 in touchdowns. He's been Dak Prescott's spark plug. His fire, his celebrations, his contested catch brilliance have made him a fan favorite and a true wide receiver 1 level weapon. But what makes Dallas dangerous isn't Pickens or Lamb, it's Pickens and Lamb. One brings raw physicality, the other brings precision and route mastery. One brings emotion, the other brings composure. One stretches defenses vertically, the other destroys defenses underneath.
Together, they are the type of duo that defensive coordinators lose sleep over. And this is why Schottenheimer's embrace of Lamb matters so much, because the Cowboys cannot reach their potential with one star receiver. They need both. They need balance. They need versatility. They need unpredictability. They need the version of the Cowboys offense that forces defenses to pick their poison. The Cowboys need CeeDee Lamb playing confident, playing aggressive, playing free. And that brings us to what's coming. Chiefs at Cowboys. Thanksgiving. A tight turnaround, short rest, a banged-up roster, a defense that just battled Philadelphia for its life, and an offense that must now attack Kansas City with precision and aggression. Here's what's important. Dak Prescott is playing some of the best situational football of his season. He went through adversity, he stayed poised, and he delivered when it mattered most. And Dak knows, he absolutely knows, that feeding Lamb early and often on Thanksgiving may be the key to unlocking this Cowboys offense. And if Lamb responds the way elite receivers respond after adversity, watch out, because that is when stars shine brightest. This is one of those crossroads moments in a season. One of those moments where a player can choose to spiral or choose to rise. And the Cowboys are putting their chips on Lamb rising, because he's earned that trust. He's earned that love from the locker room. He's earned the right to bounce back. And the coaching staff knows he has the mindset to do it. Because the great ones, they don't avoid the ball after a tough game. They demand it. And CeeDee Lamb, he's an alpha. He's a competitor. He's a Cowboy. And when AT&T Stadium fills up on Thanksgiving, when the lights hit that iconic silver helmet, when Dak steps to the line and surveys the defense, don't be surprised if the first read, the first target, the first statement of the game goes straight to number 88. Now I want to know what Cowboys Nation thinks. Does CeeDee Lamb bounce back on Thanksgiving? Does Schottenheimer's confidence spark a turnaround? Should Dak force-feed Lamb early or keep leaning on Pickens' incredible momentum? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe to Dallas Game Day, because this stretch of the season is about to get wild, and we'll be right here reacting to every moment.